Hey, fellow babies, welcome back to Pachter Factor on SIFTD.net. Appreciate your patronage via Patreon. Appreciate your linkage of your Twitch Prime account to your Amazon Prime account. Appreciate your subscriptions on YouTube. You don't have to do all three, but if you do, that's great. If you can't afford any of them, I understand. Just follow me on Twitter at Michael Pachter. Let's get to today's question. From YouTube, from Matt Baxter. With Game Pass becoming such a success, does Microsoft risk alienating third-party publishers that don't want their games as part of a subscription platform? Could it keep them from releasing standalone games on Xbox platforms? Does it even need to care if everything moves to streaming? Yeah, good question. I don't know the answer yet. It's early. We didn't get a lot of big releases for Xbox Series X and S this past fall. I mean, you obviously had the Call of Duties and FIFAs. The dollar sales for physical hardware, physical software are really tiny, as in single-digit millions of dollars per month for Xbox software. That's crazy. And if you think there's probably 1.5 million Xboxes out there in the US, and they literally bought, something like 20,000 units of software last month. That's crazy. That means that people are either Game Pass members or they're digitally downloading the software. Now, your question, presupposes that they aren't just downloading, and they probably are downloading. So software sales are probably okay. And I don't think that the publishers are going to retreat until they see an installed base of 10 million or 20 million Xbox Series X and see how things play out. The guys who put their content on the platform, like EA, who has put 1-year-old and older content on the platform, are getting paid. Microsoft pays out about 2/3 of its revenue from Game Pass for content, including to itself. But if EA games are 10% of the usage, they're getting 10% of the payout. So that could be meaningful revenue for EA. And I think that the guys who are on Game Pass are finding that gets fans to try their games, and then they want to buy the new ones. So we'll see. It's going to take a couple of holidays before we're absolutely certain. But I agreed. I mean, I think third-party publishers who don't put their games on the platform, and that's new games from EA, all games from Activision, they're going to think about it. And, will you then see PlayStation exclusives? You might. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. The first signal we're going to have on this is this fall. Let's see what happens with the big releases this fall. My expectation is that when Halo comes out, you'll get a spike in Game Pass memberships because, what the hell, you get Halo for free if you do that. But I also think you're going to see a spike in Call of Duty sales. The guys who are Game Pass members still want to play Call of Duty and FIFA. So I think it'll be really interesting to get past this holiday and see. But good question. Yes, there is a risk. Microsoft, do they even need to care if everything moves to streaming? I think the Game Pass model is the wrong model, but in fairness to Microsoft, they have a bad model that they're executing flawlessly. So, they're doing everything right with the wrong model. The right model is sell games. The wrong model is all-you-can-eat subscription. And I say that because there's no way, the guys who spend $300-400 a year buying 5 or 6 or 7 or 10 games are going to sign up for Game Pass and spend $100 a year. And that means that, if somebody goes from spending $300 to $200 just leaves the ecosystem. It's gone. And that means the game publishers don't get it. So that's really the point of the question. I think that ultimately you're going to get a competitive streaming platform from Amazon that offers games for sale. And the publishers are going to embrace that wholeheartedly because they're going to get their full $60. So I think everybody's just waiting for somebody to do that. Google doesn't quite know what they're doing. Amazon hasn't yet announced exactly what they're doing, but Luna's going to end up being all you can play for $60 per game, and all the cloud part is going to be free. And I think that the publishers will embrace that. So the answer to your question is, I do think third parties are going to abandon Game Pass and favor Amazon when Amazon rolls out what I just suggested. But that's not going to happen for at least a year. So let's wait until that happens and ask me again next year. Thanks for joining us on SIFTD.net on Pachter Factor. We hope you're a Patreon patron. If you are, thank you. We hope you have linked your Twitch Prime account to your Amazon Prime account. If you have, thank you. If not, do it. We hope you're a subscriber on YouTube. If not, do it. And if none of those, follow me on Twitter at Michael Pachter. We'll see you next time.